December continues and the holidays get closer and closer upon us, and the holiday tonight is more basketball here on RFM. Great to have you along with us for another opening night of basketball, this on the girls' side of things, as Leominster's Blue Devils play host to the Quabbin Panthers. Great to have you along with us for another night here on RFM. Alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins back at RFM HQ, I'm Todd Robbins. Great to have you along with us tonight. This Leominster and Quabbin rivalry goes back many years on the youth basketball circuit, but at the high school level, Leominster and Quabbin typically over the years haven't always played one another. That is, of course, until, like most things in the world, COVID changed things and brought Leominster and Quabbin into the same pod together. And together in the pod playoffs, these two schools created a fantastic rivalry that went all the way down to the very end of that pod postseason that occurred during the COVID-modified basketball season in 2021. And it ultimately led to a final between Leominster and Quabbin. The game was played out at Quabbin Regional, and it was a Pod 6, yes, remember, Pod 6 win for Quabbin over Leominster, a 47-40 win. And that was when the current juniors were in their freshman years. So put that into context. A lot of players on both sides familiar with one another and are going to have an opportunity to see each other out on the floor tonight. Going to be an exciting matchup between these two schools. They've been looking forward to getting back together, and we've got it for you here as both open their 2022 campaign battling one another here inside the gym at Leominster High School. Courtside, we welcome you, Todd Robbins, alongside Bill Thomas. Kate Robbins will join us in a little while from RFM HQ, and it's great to have you along with us for another opening night of basketball, this on the girls' side of things. Quabbin comes into this matchup having had a rough campaign, returning to regular order last year. They went 9-12 overall under Coach Evan Barringer, but they did make the postseason with a 24th overall seed in their division. An exciting battle that ultimately they fell off of in the postseason with an early round exit, but this is a team that is constantly on the improvement. A lot of young players in their lineup last year have now aged up. You've got a couple of seniors, and you've got two juniors joined by a freshman out on the floor for Coach Evan Barringer's squad, and we'll introduce you to them as we get going on a little while. Meanwhile, on the other side of things for Leominster, same story. Coach Rusty Frederick's squad, who had a difficult year last year, but managed to battle their way into the postseason. Unfortunately, did not advance further in said postseason, but had a great start to their year, and again, trying to find ways to grow and develop, and this offseason has been good for them. Remember, last year they started 3 freshmen in their lineup. Tonight, those 3 freshmen are now 3 sophomores that will start in their lineup tonight, along with a couple of juniors. So that is certainly something for Coach Rusty Frederick's squad that they are looking forward to as well. But as I welcome in Bill Thomas, Billy, as Leominster gets ready for the start of another year, we're telling a similar story that we've told in recent memory, and that is key senior leadership out with early injury. And of course, I'm referring to senior Isabella Nevard, who will be sidelined tonight, having re-injured a knee injury that she had a knee injury with at the tail end of the volleyball season, was healing up nicely. Coach Rusty Frederick said they were working on resting her, get her into some action against Westford the other day as part of Leominster's last scrimmage, and unfortunately, that injury cropped back up. So the long-term prognosis is unknown at this point in time, but once again, Leominster got another nagging knee injury with a senior that was expecting to contribute. But coming into tonight, the good news is that of the 5 starters that will take the floor tonight, 4 out of those 5 were regular starters, and the 5th was the 6th person off the bench. So there's plenty of experience for Coach Rusty Frederick's squad after 1 year for most of them with the varsity team. And I'm sorry, Billy. Go ahead after all that preamble.
We're a little busy here tonight with 4 hands doing the work of 6. But, yeah, Rusty's got a young squad, but he had an even younger squad last year. And he did a great job bringing them along. You know, they had some growing pains last year, but I think that's only going to pay off. You know, he stuck with the young kids last year, and he got a nice rotation going. Got those same kids back. 4 out of the 5 starters are back. unfortunately, Isabella's going to be, watching from the bench here, at least at the start of the season. Hopefully she can heal up, an integral part of Rusty's plans during the offseason, and looking to, to use her maturity, her senior leadership. But she'll be just as much as a force from the bench. I'm sure she's going to be over there cheering everybody on, integral part of timeouts and huddles, and doing some senior coaching over there too. But, we saw some great basketball from these girls. They lost some heartbreakers last year, battled down a lot of times into the third or fourth quarter, got out-benched a little bit because they were so young. But I'm expecting a lot more from them this year, and no better place to start than tonight against Quabbin.
And this, of course, is one of those things, we talked about Leominster on the boys' side of things, battling St. John's, and it being a really great launching point to a year. For the girls program, this is a great launching point for them as well, to get out here, battle against a playoff-tested squad, a team that they remember from a few years ago, giving them an awfully hard time. And, it not just, of course, that loss in the Pod 6 final, but Leominster was also swept in their regular season pod matchups against Quabbin that year as well. So Leominster certainly has struggled with this team. They are, of course, there's some new faces involved with the squad, but I'll tell you, neither team will take each other lightly going into the start of this.
No, and I'm sure there's some of the girls that were on that 21 squad, the pod squad, that remember those 3 losses and or 3 wins, depending on which side of the court you were sitting in. So there's probably a little bulletin board material going on, I'm sure, in this newfound rivalry. Leominster like nothing to break that current 0-3 streak against them and get on the winning side and start their own winning streak going forward if they're going to continue this newfound rivalry.
That is without question. And, of course, this is the beginning of a long home season of sorts for the girls, in that they will spend a lot of time here inside the gym at Leominster High School over the next month and a half. They will not play an actual road game until January 19th on the road at Sharon. In the meantime, they will play the first half of their schedule all here inside the gym at Leominster High School. The drawback, as you can see on screen, is all of the games on the back half of the season that will be played on the road. After that January 19th first road game, they'll get a home game on January 20th, and then they won't have but one more home game on February the 5th, pending, of course, the Central Mass tournament, as well as into the MIAA statewide bracket. But as you can see, there is a front-loaded home schedule for the girls, Bill Thomas. We talked about it in previewing this action the other night, which is great, except that the drawback on the other side of that is you got to play home and homes. You got to go on the road to make up all of those home games you got on the front end.
Yeah, you got to take care of business here in this first 10 games. I think I'm doing a quick look. 9 out of 10 are at home, and you got to go, probably win 3/4 of those games to realistically put yourself in a position to battle through all those away games in the latter half of January and the first half of February if you seriously think about making the tournament. But making the tournament means you're probably going to go on the road anyway. So if you're going to go into that tournament, you want to go in on a high note and go in there off of some road wins and set yourself up for that first round, hopefully.
And that is, of course, the name of the game. It's to get yourself into that statewide playoff and ultimately qualify for that postseason. And remember, it's the top 32 teams that will qualify in this postseason, as well as, remember, all 500 or better records will also qualify, and they will have to play an opening round play-in to get to that top 32. But at the end of the day, that statewide playoff is 32 teams, Bill Thomas, plus the 500 or better records.
I think we saw upwards of 38 to 40 teams qualify in a couple of divisions. So, if you were 26 and up, you ended up with essentially a play-in game. Even though you might have been on top 32, you ended up with an extra round to cement yourself to really get into the tournament. So the higher up seeded, you can get yourself in the top 20, top 25. Try to avoid that pseudo first round because there's going to be more than 32, and you don't want to be part of that bump round.
And that is where you don't want to end up. We've got Leominster and Quabbin for you here inside the gym at Leominster High School. Both teams set to kick off their 2022 campaigns tonight on the first half of the basketball season. And, of course, there's that split for the holiday break and then on into the second half of the season after the new year. But it's Leominster and Quabbin to open the girls' basketball season, as well as the rest of Central Massachusetts and all around the state tonight with the full-fledged scheduled kickoff to the basketball season, ice hockey this week, and on down the line as well, statewide. So plenty of fun and excitement ahead here on RFM and with our partners at Leominster TV. We welcome Bradley Bedard and the folks at Leominster TV joining us here tonight in delay as well. Great to have them along with us. As we get you set, coming up next, it's Leominster and Quabbin. Tip-off follows the national anthem and starter introductions. All that here inside the gym at Leominster High School. Stay with us. You're listening and watching high school basketball right here on RFM.
A very good evening, fans, and welcome to the gym at Leominster High School for tonight's varsity basketball matchup featuring the Panthers of Quabbin Regional High School and your Leominster Blue Devils. Tonight's contest is sanctioned by the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, the Midland Wachusett League, and the competing institutions. Fans, join us as we back the National Federation of State High School Associations initiative to bench bad behavior by positively supporting the hard work of student athletes, coaches, and contest officials. Be loud, be proud, be positive. Thank you. It's time now to meet tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the visiting Panthers from Quabbin Regional. At guard, a freshman, number 1, Mia Dukos. At guard, a junior, number 3, Meg Doyle. At guard, a senior, number 4, Olivia Rose. At forward, a senior, number 5, Cindy Giorgi. And at forward, a junior, number 23, Riley Bassett. The Panthers are coached by Evan Barringer. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for your Leominster Blue Devils. At center, a sophomore, number 1, Francesca Bello. At guard, a sophomore, number 2, Jada Caldwell. At guard, a sophomore, number 11, Mia Keenan. At guard, a junior, number 14, Nicole Kelly. And at forward, a junior, number 44, Juliana Pompey. The Blue Devils are coached by Rusty Frederick in his 5th season, assisted by Megan McNiff and Chris Pompey. Fans, we ask now that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America and those defending our freedom with the playing of our national anthem.
And with that, we're ready for basketball here inside the gym at Leominster High School. It's Leominster and Quabbin on the girls' side of things, ready to start their 2022-2023 basketball seasons. Before tip-off, let's welcome in third member of the broadcast team. Joining us from Studio P back at RFM HQ tonight, Kate Robbins standing by. Kate, you remember that Leominster-Quabbin matchup from the pod finals seemingly forever ago, but it wasn't all that long ago, back in February of 2021, and it was an exciting battle, and there are a number of players on both sides of the floor that will have memories of those games tonight.
It feels like a lifetime ago having those pod playoffs, but it was a memorable experience, that's for sure. We were in Studio P before it was Studio P during those pod playoffs, so that was a lot of fun. And kudos to the Quabbin coaching staff. They shared their appreciation for our work for that again this evening. It was very nice of them.
Indeed they did. The ball is up. Kate, we'll check back in with you as the night progresses. Leominster will go left to right with the win of the tip and opening possession. Jada Caldwell will play that point guard spot. She'll drop the ball to Nicole Kelly. Kelly reverses the swing back through Keenan. Around for Caldwell, and Leominster puts the ball on the floor. Now is Keenan. Goes to the elbow drive, gave up. Ball ends up in a tie-up on the floor as a loose ball tied up between Bello and Doyle. Held ball, the alternate possession right off that opening tap belongs to Quabbin. 7:37 to play here in quarter one, and we are scoreless on the first offensive possession. Here comes Quabbin, right to left, up the floor, wearing the road navy blue tops, gold, and that's a yellow gold trim with the yellow gold numerals front and back, and a gray trim on the shorts and up underneath on the sides of the jerseys as well. Leominster wearing the home white over white, white tops, white bottoms trimmed in royal blue and black. The L over the running devil on either side of the shorts, and Kelly opens up the scoring, banking that one home, and Leominster is on the board 2-0 here early.
Nice job by Kelly hitting that quick jumper before the defense got up on her. Just the Blue Devils on the board early.
Just a minute gone by here in quarter one. Drive to the lane. It's Bassett who draws the foul and tried to rock that one home. Can't get the fall, but she's got two shots coming from the foul line. And Bill Thomas, Bassett is a great story as she goes to the foul line for the first time tonight. She's returning to play after what Coach Evan Barringer called an inspiration to kids and adults everywhere, as they've seen her work hard to return after a very difficult injury last season.
Yeah, and you look at that knee brace on her right leg, and that says it all. Fractured kneecap, torn ACL, MCL, and she's really battled back to be able to start the season off. I'm sure she's not up to full speed, but she's giving it all she's got.
1 out of 2 on the trip cuts the Leominster lead to 2-1. The bounce pass inside, it's Caldwell for Bello. Fakes baseline, turnaround shot doesn't go, but got her own rebound, and Leominster will get another shot. Swing, Pompey pops the long two jumper, and down it goes. And Leominster's got the 4-1 advantage. Leominster is pressuring the ball off the inbound, but immediately back down floor. Here comes Ducos, and she stepped across the end line. Ball is out of bounds, and it will be turned back over to Leominster.
You know, it's nice to see Bella get on the score sheet early. We saw her very active as a freshman last year, working under the boards, doing a lot of the dirty work, and, you know, it's nice to see it starting to pay off for her early on here in the sophomore year.
And you can see the development, Bill Thomas. She's listed as a center on the roster as there's the steal in transition. Rose comes back down the floor, can't finish the lay-in. She bothers Keenan on her way getting back in bounds, and the ball goes out of bounds, and it will go back to Quabbin. And as we expected, Bill Thomas, opening night jitters on both sides as both teams trying to find their sea legs, so to speak, here in the opening quarter.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll come to them. You know, timeout here will come down. But girls doing a good job moving the ball around, looking for those open cutters, and Quabbin doing a good job of moving it around.
Back rim, ball tapped there by Georgie, and it's out of play. And back to Leominster at the 5:59 mark here of quarter one, and a 4-1 Leominster early advantage here. Quabbin responds in kind with the full court pressure. Keenan snaps a long pass looking for Kelly. Kelly flashed in, and the pass sails overhead and out of play, and the ball will go back to Quabbin.
Yeah, just bad timing right there. Broke right as the pass was being released to her in the corner. They'll work on that. A little eye contact prior to the pass. Once again, those are the types of things you work out early season. You know, the fact that Rusty's got 4 of his 5 starters coming back and they're all young, I think that's going to bode well as the season progresses, Todd.
No question about it. The more experience you have, the better your performance is. Rose drives baseline. Nice baseline closeout there. Ends up going over a thigh and out of play. She's ruled out of bounds, and the ball will go back to Leominster.
Yeah, Pompey holding the ground on the baseline there. Nowhere for the ball handler to go except step on the baseline.
Pompey for Caldwell through Kelly and to Bello. Bello tries to swim move inside, got tied up, and the alternate possession goes back to Quabbin.
Nice job working the ball into Bello, though. She's got to learn to keep that ball up. Try to keep those defenders' hands off him, but something she'll learn.
5:24 and counting to play here in quarter number 1. And there's a carry called. Palm got underneath the ball coming across the midcourt. Unforced error, and the ball goes back to Leominster.
A little tight defense there in the backcourt caused that, I think. Give a little credit to the defender.
I would say 6 weeks from now, Bill Thomas, that's not even a thing. That's an opening night jitter if ever I have seen one materialize there. Caldwell drops it off for Kelly. Kelly with the right hand dribble. Reverses. Swings to the corner, Forsberg. Go back up top through Kelly. Down to the baseline, Bello. For Kelly to Pompey. Pops the 2. Back rim, no. Battle for the rebound, and Pompey gets her own rebound and another Leominster opportunity. She wasn't ready for the pass. The foul line came right back to her, though.
Tried to get it over to Bello. Not quite enough on it.
It's a back down floor. Come the Panthers. Jumper for Bassett. Open at the foul line was short. And the rebound goes in transition for Leominster from left to right. This is Kelly. Forsberg's open in the corner. Caldwell was open as well. She was just deep off the arc. Missed the 3. Kelly gets locked up in a battle for the rebound and ties this one up. Looked like Doyle again tied up in there for Quabbin. Alternate possession, arrow this time favors Leominster at the 4:28 mark of quarter number 1, and Leominster still with that early 4-1 run.
Mike's going to wear that alternate possession arrow out here.
Ball swatted out of the lane as a Caldwell pass didn't have enough pepper on it and gets swatted out of play.
Stuck on 4-1 here for about 2.5 minutes. Quabbin yet to score from the floor.
Rose drives into the right wing, pulls up for the shot, rolls in and out, and Kelly's got a rebound. And here comes Kelly back down floor, left to right. Has it taken away again. It's a pass that didn't have enough on it, and Rose will battle to the floor with Kelly, get the tie-up, and the alternate possession favors Quabbin. It's been a great battle, Bill Thomas. They have moved into every lane. If Leominster throws a loose pass, doesn't have enough steam on it or enough commitment on the ball, Quabbin is in the passing lane.
Yeah, defense on both ends is one step ahead of the offense tonight.
Still a 4-1 Leominster opening run. Quabbin looking to match their defense, and Rose lost the handle. Caldwell dribbles the ball away, down floor all the way to the rim, draws contact, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Nice job right there. Pick the pocket right here at the half-court line. Gained control, a little globe-trotted dribble there, got up, made away the basket, gets herself a couple of foul shots.
And the first one is a hard in and out for Caldwell. Second shot opportunity here, maybe to break this 4-1 run, and she will add to that total. Put one more on the board for Leominster, make it a 5-1 opening run at the 3:47 mark of quarter number 1. Here comes Dukos. Up floor, gets a double screen and drives into the open floor, but a nice battle there. Taylor Boulay sees her first action of the season, got right back defensively into position. Ball ends up in the corner for Giorgi. Tries to go inside for Rose. To the floor they go. Alternate possession battle again as held ball is the call. And the advantage this time on the arrow goes to Leominster. Kate Robbins is standing by at RFM HQ. And Kate, you've gotten a chance to see this in the early going, and we're seeing an unsettled game on both sides of the floor.
Unsettled on both sides is right now. Leominster winning the rebounding battle, but turnovers run amok on both sides. Both of these teams need to settle down and get their first game jitters out of there.
Ball out of play, and it will go back to Quabbin. Thank you, Kate.
Another turnover by Leominster.
And here comes Dukos up floor. She is a 9th grader, played significant minutes as an 8th grader for this Quabbin regional team. Rose gets some room, right wing 3, and nails it, and draws Quabbin back within 1. 2:50 and counting to play here in the first frame. It's 5-4. Leominster's advantage is quickly evaporating. Boulay goes left for Forsberg. Cross-court skip, find Keenan. Keenan into a triple team, lost the handle. Out of play, and the ball back to Quabbin.
Yeah, Quabbin running a tough zone there, and Blue Devils unable to crack it. Working the perimeter, but as soon as they tried to force it in, arms and legs everywhere.
Leominster comes full court man right off the inbound, and Boulay bodies up on Dukos and draws the whistle.
Oh, bump there. I don't know, she's defending her a little too much. Full court press here, at least token on the inbound. See if the Blue Devils back out of it.
Bassett will go to the baseline here. Bassett finds an inbound for Rose. Rose spins out, Keenan stays right on her. They cross midcourt into the hands of Dukos. Dukos gets a screen, but Boulay keeps running right with her. A whistle before the shot. It's the forearm contact, it's called. And Boulay gets billed for her second here in the early going. Not a good start, Bill Thomas, for the 6th person off the bench.
No, and last thing you want to do is get in foul trouble. Exactly right, Todd. That's 3rd team foul on the Blue Devils here in the first quarter.
Dribble given up by Rose. Defense swarms, and it's a 5-second closely guarded call. And another turnover initiated by the Leominster defense.
Nice job trapping the ball handle over there in the corner. No place for her to go.
Here comes the full court pressure. It's a trap by Quabbin, and Keenan dribbles through it to the right wing side for Forsberg. Cross court, Boulay, touch, Pompey, open 3. Missed everything but caught some glass. And then the ball rolls off a body and out of play. Last touched by Leominster. It's Panther basketball.
Came down right in Lemanski's feet, unable to grab it there. Bounced off her feet out of bounds.
Pompey will get a spell as Coach Frederick will go into the bench here. And Dukos will walk slowly up the floor for Coach Evan Beringer. Head fake, goes opposite the screen, swims through 2 defenders, got the ball up on the rim, and the soft touch falls. And Quabbin, don't look now, Bill Thomas, has got themselves a 6-5 lead.
Yeah, and they've done that on the strength of defense and turnovers.
The reach in for Rose will be whistled for the foul. Just the second on Quabbin, and Kate will bring you into the conversation here. I mean, this is, of course, the danger. Leominster controlled the play through a good portion of the first quarter here, but unfortunately, if you don't put the points on the board, can't take advantage of it.
You're absolutely right about that. Essentially, both of the teams right now mired in the mud. Fouls aren't really a problem other than for Boulay, who has 2 for Leominster, team 3rd. But right now, both teams shooting for 50% from the foul line and really not putting any points on the board.
Boulay pops the shot, catches the corner of the glass. That one won't go, but Caldwell runs down the rebound, and Leominster gets a second opportunity. Boulay fakes baseline, back to Keenan. They play catch, top of the arc. Final minute here of the first quarter. Lemanski wanted a foul call, didn't get it. Shot never makes the rim, and it's a shot clock violation, a turnover, and the ball back to the Panthers.
Nice job right there by the Panthers. Blue Devils working the ball around, some in and out, but never able to get a good look. Good double team off of that zone that the Panthers have been running. Blue Devils unable to crack it. The only way you're going to get them to come out of that zone is to hit a couple of outside shots.
And right now, there's no reason for them to do that, Bill Thomas. It has been very effective to this point. Final 50 seconds of the first quarter. Quabbin with the 1-point advantage at 6-5. This is Rose off a screen from Bassett. Pops the shot right of the lane. Doesn't go. Caldwell the rebound. Caldwell looks lead man pass, tries to find Keenan. Keenan runs down the loose ball. Now back to Caldwell. Foul line dish in the corner, and it's a travel call. Samara Rosado, sophomore, gets her first touch of the basketball and picked up the pivot foot. 33 and 8/10 seconds left here in quarter one. Another turnover and the ball back to Quabbin.
Yeah, turnovers mounting up here for the Blue Devils early on, but first game jitters, we'll attribute it to that.
Into the front court. Dukos with the tight dribble. Shot clock off, 17 seconds left in the quarter. Dukos takes to the lane, creates the space, bangs it off the glass and in, and it is 8-5.
Nice job, under control the entire time, drew the defender, walked around her.
Leominster loses the ball in transition to the floor. Keenan gets tied up, alternate possession, back to Quabbin. 2 and 9/10 seconds left here in the first quarter. Quabbin's got a full court inbound here from Meg Doyle, the junior. Little liberal on the pivot foot there as she was able to walk into the pass. Dukos got to midcourt and threw it in the direction of the basket, but that is the way the first quarter will end. Quabbin with the 8-5 advantage, and if we dip in, Bill Thomas, to another sport for a moment, let's talk time of possession from the world of football for a minute. Leominster seemed to dominate possession of the basketball, but they didn't dominate on the scoreboard simply because they didn't finish.
No, I think that opening 4 minutes, it was all Blue Devils, but the Panthers found a way to clamp down on defense, found their way to the basket, got a timely three there to get things going. And, I don't think the Blue Devils scored in the last 4 minutes of that quarter and been stuck on 5 for quite a while. Panthers found a way to find a way to the basket and have opened up this small lead here as the end of the first quarter came to a close.
Kate Robbins stands by back at RFM HQ. And Kate, what do you have for the story on the score sheet through one quarter?
All right, if we take a look right now, gentlemen, both teams once again shooting 50% from the charity stripe. Both teams 1 of 2. Interestingly, Leominster right now, you talked about the time of possession, obviously not a statistic that we have at our disposal, but right now, Leominster is absolutely winning the rebounding game. Quabbin doesn't have a true rebound yet in this game. Right now, turnovers, though, on both sides, astronomical, mostly due to the alternate possessions, the tie-ups. Right now, Leominster, I've got them totaling 13 turnovers already, and Quabbin with 9.
And that says an awful lot here about the game thus far. It has been disjointed, to say the least, here in this opening frame. Kate, thanks so much. Dip back to RFM HQ in a little bit as we begin second quarter action. Rosado gets an opening on the left side of the lane and buries a three-pointer, and we are knotted at 8 right off the first possession.
And whatever they talked about in between quarters, it certainly worked, at least for that possession.
Response for Doyle, who buries a 3 of her own. And a shooting gallery develops here to open the second.
And I think the girls just got to start lofting up more shots, the truth be told.
Sabina Marwa for Bello. And now Caldwell into the post. Bello swims to the inside, creates some baseline room, laid in and good.
And I think that's where Bello was getting lost last year, and I'd love to see a lot more of that now. And, showing some maturity right there, knowing what to do when she does get the ball in the low post.
Georgie calls for the screen, tries to rub Caldwell off that cover on Dukos. A loose ball ended up to Rose. Rose to Doyle, middle of the lane. And there's a whistle, 3, and the key is the call. The ball will go back to Leominster.
One too many spin moves right there, looking for a cutter, but lost track of the time.
And Coach Rusty Frederick lobbied for that 3-second violation. And yes, they want the shot clock reset. 35 seconds is universal in Massachusetts, just as 30 seconds was for all those years. So it is a 35-second shot clock for Massachusetts in the girls' game as well as the boys' game in 2022-2023. That shot is short of the rim. The rebound uncontested for Georgie. And back down floor comes Rose from right to left. Rose for Ducos. Ducos bounces it through the wickets of Georgie and out of play, and the ball will go back to Leominster. And Bill Thomas, you can see this with Ducos managing the basketball. She played 16 games last year as an 8th grader, so varsity certainly doesn't concern her in any way. But as Coach Beringer said, basketball is her passion. She is a highly devoted AAU player.
Yeah, she's a 4-season basketball player, according to the coach, and it's showing off here early on in her youth.
Marwa's shot taken clean out of the air. Bello battles for the loose ball rebound, gets fouled on an over-the-back call from Doyle, and Leominster will hold on the floor with a baseline inbound. .608 to play, second quarter, 11-10, Quabbin's advantage. Leominster with the inbound, work around the arc. It's Caldwell, drop it inside for Bello. 3 swarm, back out Rosado. 3 away from straight away. Rolls through the rim, no good. Rebound tied up. Alternate possession, Quabbin basketball.
Saying that far too often, Todd. It seems like every alternate possession is going to Quabbin.
2 arrows to 1, it seems like, more often than not. But Kelly has been in there battling with multiple Panthers. She has had, a bit of a match with Rose on some of these. She's been tied up with Doyle a number of times. But the key factor there has been Nicole Kelly, who's swarming to the basketball for Leominster. Bassett shot around, and it will not go down. Doyle pressures the ball. It gets swatted out of play from Bello, and the ball will stay with Leominster. 5:36 to play in the second quarter, and Leominster chasing 1. Down floor, Caldwell banging in the corner. Rosado, 3. Hard back rim, battle for the rebound, mistimed. On the floor it was Rose, and then Rose got fouled on the rebounding action. And Sabina Marwa will get billed for the foul.
Loose ball foul on that rebound action. Marwa ends up on the floor and gets billed for the foul.
5:22 and counting to play here in the second quarter. Great to have you along with us here on RFM. Great to have you live here tonight on the platforms of YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch, wherever you are, or joining us in delay with our great partners at Leominster TV. Elbow jumper from Bassett goes down, and Quabbin improves their lead to 3 once again at 13-10. Loose ball to the floor, Rosado. Rosado tries to get it to Marwa. Rose pulls her over. It's an alternate possession, and the arrow favors Quabbin. So the inbound will come. Foul line extended right in front of the Quabbin bench at the 4:55 mark of the second quarter. Georgie puts it in the hands of Ducos. And the freshman.
She just looks confident.
I was going to say, she does.
Dribbling with her head up.
Foul way away from the basketball. It is an offensive foul on a screen. And the ball will go back to Leominster.
Didn't see what was happening over there.
I was going to say, that's how far off the ball it was.
How confident does Ducos look? Just dribbling, looking to head up, just casually, running the offense.
Commands the floor without question.
Exactly right.
Kelly, catch and replace through Caldwell into the corner. Find Rosado. Now for Caldwell.
Yeah, Quabbin trying to double team over there.
Indeed, cross-court skip is front row out of play.
And I think that pressure on that far sideline led to that bad pass, trying to reverse the ball.
And Leominster once again, Bill Thomas, and we saw this last year, struggles to penetrate that three-point line. You set up that picket fence along the outside, Leominster struggles to get it into the paint.
Yeah, and Quabbin's recognizing that they're pulling that zone out in the corners and trapping the ball handle over on the sideline.
Ducos drive to the rim, took on Bello, absorbed the contact, missed the lay-in. Back down floor. This is Caldwell for Bello. Low block, finds Kelly. Banging off the glass.
That's
for
the
two.
way you get him looking at you, then you get that pass to the weak side. Nice job right there by Bello.
And timeout taken on the floor at the 4:07 mark of the second quarter. A 13-12 Quabbin advantage, but Leominster charging back in is enough for Coach Evan Beringer to spend a timeout. And we'll spend this timeout with Kate Robbins back at HQ. Kate, what are your numbers telling you?
Well, friends, turnovers continue to be a problem, especially on Leominster's side of the ball. But as we said, that alternate possession arrow is going to need new batteries because Mike Griffin at the table has been going back and forth all night long. So that's been essentially the mitigating factor in the turnover game. Right now, Quabbin has scores from Doyle and from Bassett here in the second quarter. Those are their only points from the field. Leominster not doing too much better. Bello, Rosado, and Kelly each with buckets from the field as well. But right now, we have a low-scoring affair and a lot of turnovers.
All right, Kate, thank you so much. And Bill Thomas, I guess the question then is, do we just attribute it all to being the early part of the season? We just don't have enough sample data in order to be able to tell us whether this is how both teams are going to play, or can they work their way out of this mire in game number one?
Well, I think 12 minutes is a little early to get judgmental. We'll leave it at that. But it'll give us something to talk about at halftime. But some timeouts will help. We'll see if the girls start getting a little crispier as the game progresses. But I think the jury's still out on that decision right now, Todd.
As we get ready to come out of the timeout, 4:07 to play here in the second quarter. Quabbin's got the full court inbound. Georgie finds Rose, who takes it right to left over the timeline and right into the right wing as we pass the halfway mark on our way to halftime here in the second quarter. And Rose steps on the foot of Caldwell and then touches herself down out of bounds. She is whistled with the flat tire for a travel, and the ball will go back to Leominster.
Thankfully, she didn't twist her ankle, just readjusting her shoe, but thought she was going to come up a limp in there, but hustles her way back down court.
That was an odd interaction, to say the least. Caldwell has that ball tapped by Bree Whitelaw, seeing some of her first action tonight.
Ooh, high pick right there.
And Doyle comes like a gazelle into the front court. Drop it off for Rose, and Kelly with the steal. 2-on-1 if they hurry. She goes up floor for Caldwell, can't handle it. Kept it alive on the baseline, but right into the hands of Georgie, who turns the action up floor for Rose, who says, I'll wait. But she gave up her dribble to do it and is able to wait for the rest of her companions to join her. Bassett goes swim move, misses everything. Rebound Kelly, and Coach Rusty Frederick steps on the gas from the bench. He goes up floor, finds Caldwell. Caldwell for Bello, sets up a Forsberg three on the right side. Back rim, no, and the rebound down for Rose. Under 3 minutes to play before halftime, 13-12. Quabbin's advantage is one. Rose with that casual dribble. Kelly pushes the issue. Caldwell to the floor. Now the tie-up. And the arrow favors Leominster.
Is Kate keeping track of tie-ups? Because it seems like we've had 12 to 15 of them in this first half. I don't know if that's a stat that she has room for in her sheet, but
I'll give her a chance to answer that one.
Got a number of them.
The answer is sadly no, but I should.
It'd probably be your highest number stat of the night, that's for sure.
Ball is deflected out of play, and it will go back to Quabbin as Leominster's not able to hang on.
Another turnover. You know, if there's anything you can work on early in the season, it's not being sloppy with the basketball. And I think that's one of the first things Rusty's going to talk about here at halftime.
And bodies hit the floor once again. There will be a whistle for a foul. It's going to go against Leominster. Kelly will get billed for the contact, her first, at the 2:29 mark of the second quarter. 13-12, Panther advantage over the Blue Devils. Inbound. Whitelaw looking for Rose. Kelly and Rose to the floor. No whistle for a foul, but the ball goes out of play.
Felt that over here.
And the ball goes back to Leominster.
Like a mini earthquake when the two girls just crashed to the floor.
My, oh my, oh my. What's that famous coaching trope, Billy? That's got to be something. The long jumper there.
You would think.
Will not go for Forsberg.
Who do you call it on, though, when both girls hit the floor just as hard? It's just effort. All-out effort. You can't call a foul for effort.
2:05 and counting to play in the second quarter. Give me a whistle and watch me. Dukos Dukos finds Rose. Rose floats, post, finds Bassett. Bassett working on Bello. Bassett backs Bello down, but then missed the shot. That's going to be an interesting battle as the night develops, Bill Thomas. Both post players have not been material in the result of this one to this point, but both have the potential to take over the game down low.
Yeah, Bassett definitely has the size down low, and have to see Bello's got to stay on her, not let her get pushed around.
Foul is called against Georgie. It's her first. Fouls 5 aside, and Pompey at the line hits the first for Leominster and brings us to a 13-all basketball game at the 1:42 mark before halftime. Second one away, back rim won't go. Tapped from behind, and that one goes out of play. Coach Rusty Frederick saw the contact from Georgie, who was behind, and took the ball away from the Leominster player in front, but they say Leominster last touch.
Over the back, loose ball foul on that rebound in action.
Dukos, the drive and swing, puts it in the hands of Rose. And Rose has her pocket picked by Boulay. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Drops it ahead for Kelly. The Panthers close, create some traffic. Boulay gets the ball back for Forsberg, and Leominster tries to balance the floor. It's Kelly in the left wing at the 1:15 mark here before halftime. Into the post. Pompey shot denied. Swatted Bassett off of Boulay, and the ball goes back to Quabbin. That's an effort play by Bassett, who makes the block. Then the follow-on save, bangs it off a Leominster player and gets the turnover.
Yeah, I tell you, she did a little bit of everything right there to create that turnover. But like you say, first the block, then the effort out of bounds, toss it back in off a Blue Devil player.
Minute 5 before halftime, 13-all basketball game, and here comes Dukos from right to left. Working the left-hand dribble, makes it to the baseline, and Pompey with the little hip check sends Dukos flying to the floor. Will be the 6th foul called on Leominster here in the first half.
Still be an inbound situation.
But it's bonus the rest of the way for Quabbin. 57 4/10. Long 5 count, and Forsberg slaps that one back across the baseline out of play.
Good hands up right there on the inbounds.
Doyle will switch sides of the basket now for the second inbound opportunity. Fresh shot clock, 56 7/10 before halftime. Doyle up top, Dukos, and the clock begins. The drive, back, Rose, 3 from straight away. Side rim, no. Battle for the rebound, it's Bello. Bello for Boulay, up floor Forsberg. Baseline, finds Kelly. Kelly to the foul line. Nice job, little hesitation. Bello's shot, though. She double clutched on it. Got it taken away, and now it's Rose. Rose down floor looking for Doyle. Taken away by Kelly. Kelly bumps into Georgie, but is undeterred. She'll move her way for Boulay. Boulay, the right wing jumper, and down it goes. And Leominster reclaims the lead 22 seconds before halftime.
Nice job making that effort pay off on each end of the court with a basket. Take the lead here as the half winds down.
Shot clock off, final 12 seconds before the break. Dukos. Put it to Rose, dances back to her right, long 2, short of the mark and out of play, and the ball back to Leominster, 4 3/10 before halftime. Shooters back out on the floor for Coach Frederick, sends Rosado, Caldwell, now Bello will be the big down low with Lemansky, and you got Forsberg out there as well. Clock starts, pressure by Rose, Caldwell up floor, Rosado, half a second left, it was good if it went, but it missed the mark, and we are at halftime. But the halftime score, Leominster 15 and Quabbin 13. And the only thing you can say about that halftime result, Bill Thomas, is maybe it's a cosmic rebalancing. Leominster controlled the early portion of the first quarter, then took a bit of a nap in the back end of the first quarter. Then it was all Quabbin into the beginning of the second quarter, and then Leominster seemingly woke up in the back half of the second quarter and battled their way ahead in this race, which is essentially neck and neck around the far turn.
Yeah, Leominster held that 5-1 lead pretty much essentially till about the 4-minute mark of that first quarter, and Quabbin started finding its way. Worked its way into that first quarter lead, but you're right, Todd. It seemed like second half of the first quarter turned Quabbin's way into the second quarter. Leominster found its way there, a couple of baskets, a couple of outside shots, and found their way to a 15-13 lead here in that second half of the second quarter.
Halftime at the gym at Leominster High School. It's Blue Devils 15 and Panthers 13. We're going to step aside here on Leominster TV in delay and here live on RFM Audio. When we come back, Kate Robbins is standing by at RFM HQ. She'll have your complete first half stats and a preview of the second half action to come. All that as we continue live on the platforms of RFM, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. Great to have you along with us once again, whether you're with us live tonight or in delay with our partners at Leominster TV. Halftime, Leominster 15 and Quabbin 13. A break and we're back with more. You're watching high school basketball right here on RFM. Halftime here inside the gym at Leominster High School. Leominster 15 and Quabbin 13 at the midway break in a game that Leominster has certainly played respectively, but both teams still trying, I think, to figure out on the floor what they're going to be in this season on an opening night. Where else would you be, I suppose, if you were on either locker room? Bill Thomas will be back with us in a matter of moments. Kate Robbins joins me from Studio P at RFM HQ. And Kate, 15-13 Leominster at the half. And Leominster to this point has played as expected, I think, to this point, which is better than a year ago, more mature than a year ago, but still a lot to clean up here in the early going.
You're certainly right about that. The most alarming number to me right now is the turnover game. I know we have essentially belabored the point, but for Leominster, 21 turnovers in a single half of basketball, that's a big number. In most cases, we see that as a final number for a game. So 21 turnovers, most again coming from that alternate possession, the tie-ups left and right in this game. Quabbin right now with 19 turnovers, so it's just been a battle back and forth of alternate possessions, tie-ups, poor passing, ball going out of bounds consistently. So it's hard to get a rhythm if you're any side of this one. So tough going for both of these teams right now with regard to the turnover game.
But certainly on an opening night, some of that is to certainly be expected. And I think you have two teams that are trying to very quickly figure themselves out, because I'm sure if you're sitting on the Leominster side of things, you're saying, well, we should be in command of this basketball game on paper. We're a larger school. We have more players, yada, yada, yada. You could play that game. And then if you're on the other side, if you're Quabbin, you're looking back at recent history and going, we dominated this team not but 2 years ago, and sure, in the middle of a pandemic, I'll give you, in a much different climate situation, but both teams would have their arguments prior to tonight about why they should be able to command this basketball game, and thus I think you end up with what is essentially a stalemate, although Leominster finds themselves up 2 here at the half.
Well, and it's an interesting point that you make, because as you said, Quabbin essentially dominates this team a couple of years ago, but nothing is the same as it was in COVID. That was kind of a vortex, if you will, of situations. So kind of an interesting spot a few years ago. And as you said, not necessarily traditionally playing each other are Leominster and Quabbin. So it's nice to have these two teams back. It was a fun matchup when we saw them a few years ago. And as you said, Leominster has improved over the last couple of years. But this, at the very least, essentially you have to just think of this. This is first game jitters. This is the baseline of the season for both of these teams. They got to try to figure out what it is that they are doing, and they need to make sure that they clean it up. From here, they need to get better on both sides of the ball, both of these teams. They just need to make improvements, and this is basically the baseline. As long as you improve from here, no problem. You got Giggle Fest going on behind you, though, there, buddy. Those girls are very excited to be on TV right now.
It's good to have a dedicated group of viewers, even if they are just over your shoulder, as the case may be. But that said, Kate, when you look at sort of where we are and kind of how we're progressing, I think your point about Quabbin is not lost in the fact that this series is back together, because, of course, in this new statewide system, in these new statewide playoffs, there's no longer a penalty for playing quote unquote down, playing a school that's smaller than you. It's all about the power rating, and this is a Quabbin team that is going to have a high power rating in their division. So it is certainly beneficial to both teams to play each other, and that's what's going to get rivalries like this to keep stoking the fire and to keep appearing on each other's schedule year in and year out.
And you're absolutely right about that. It's interesting because, as you said, traditionally you would think, if Leominster is playing down, that is only going to benefit Quabbin, especially if Quabbin gets the W. But as you said, the way that the statewide algorithm is, it makes things a lot more interesting. Things really do get more interesting because of now the statewide playoff. And you can talk. If you talk to Coach Rusty Frederick on the girls' side, if you talk to Coach Kevin Grutchfield on the boys' side, both of them will say, this is a new world. This is like the brand new frontier. Teams have to diversify their schedule. They have to seek out new opponents. They can't just stay within their league and expect that things are going to go well for them and that they're going to do well in the playoff seeding. So very important for all teams in Massachusetts to diversify their schedules as much as possible.
Hence Leominster's new storied girls basketball rivalry with Sharon High School on a home and away on their schedule as well. Kate, we're getting ready for second half action. Give me the complete rundown on those first half stats.
All right, if we take a look at team totals first for Quabbin's side of the ball, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 19 turnovers. They were 1 of 2 from the line right now. They are trailing by 2. They had 4 young ladies contribute to the offensive stat sheet. Smith has 4, Doyle has 3, Rose has 3, Bassett has 3. On Leominster's side of the ball, team totals 12 rebounds, 3 steals, 21 turnovers. And they're also 1 of 2 from the line. 6 young ladies contributing to the offensive stat sheet for the Blue Devils in Bello with 2, Caldwell with 1, Rosado with 2, Boulay with 2 points, Kelly with 4 points, and Pompey with 3. And that is your first half stat recap.
All right, Kate, thank you so much. Back with you in a little bit from HQ. Todd Robbins with Bill Thomas out here at the gym at Leominster High School tonight. And second half action is underway here inside the gym at Leominster High School. Drive to the lane, and right off the opening possession, the lay-in is good for Bassett, and we are knotted at 15 here in the early going of the third quarter. And Bill Thomas, I said it to Kate during our conversation, we were essentially at a stalemate at halftime.
Yeah, and I think, whoever did the best coaching up at halftime and talking about how to maybe hold on to the ball, not get so many tie-ups, and try to put the put the ball through the hoop a little more. But right away, that first set play, Quabbin did a good job working the ball inside for an easy basket.
Bello inside out, corner Caldwell, back rim no, and Doyle goes to the floor, and a rebound, alternate possession. Leominster is going to get this one just 1 minute and 3 seconds into the second half. We're at 15 all here in the third quarter.
Kate, stop keeping track of these for us. Just kidding.
Click, 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 as the case may be.
Okay,
Conversation ensues after that whistle. Yeah, all of a sudden, but now we're back to it, Bill Thomas. In the post, Bello. Kelly steps up, foul line pop. Doesn't go. Rebound down for Doyle. And Doyle will turn it in transition. Left to right for Quabbin in this second half, wearing these brand new navy on navy with the gray and yellow gold trim. Leominster wearing those white over white, trimmed in royal blue and black, as Kelly drives to the lane from right to left, draws the contact from Rose. No call as bodies splay out on the floor. Response, Georgie misses the shot. Follow on Doyle. Contact after the whistle for the foul. And it's a two-shot opportunity coming for Doyle.
Looks like they're billing Bello, I think, for this one. Are they? Let's see who they got.
I think they put it up for Caldwell, her first. That's a good result for Leominster in the grand scheme of things, as Caldwell had a clean sheet in the foul department in the first half.
Tell you, a couple of trips up and down the court there, bodies flying everywhere.
First one does not go for Doyle on a hard in and out. Doyle with the dribble. Hard roll in and out. The rebound battle. Last touched by Bello. And it's out of bounds. Her battle with Bassett. Bassett comes out with the basketball.
Yeah, couldn't corral it. Watch it roll down her body out of bounds off her fingertips.
Straight line stack on the end line here. Doyle goes up top for Rose, wide open. Then baseline for Bassett. In a double team, she pulls up. Short of the mark. Pompey the rebound. And Pompey will dribble out of trouble, find Forsberg at the 6:10 mark of the third quarter. This is Kelly. Kelly into the left wing. Back for Forsberg. Reverse. Put it over to the right side. Find Caldwell. Now come back left. Forsberg. Baseline flash. Kelly's wide open. Missed the open bunny, and the rebound down at the 5:55 mark here in the third in the hands of Georgie. And Bill Thomas, you can't have that.
Good patience there, working that weak side baseline, but you're right, you can't have that. That was a gimme.
Doyle's three missed. Bello gets tied up, tries to dribble out of play, and the officials come with an officials timeout as Bello got flat tired. So Leominster will keep the possession as the back of the high top for Bello was underneath her foot. And now Coach Rusty Frederick says, you know what? While we're at this, let's just spend a timeout.
I think that was a safety move there, but I'm kind of surprised the officials stopped play for that. But, hey, good. That was fortunate for the Blue Devils.
5:43 to play here in the third quarter in a 15-all basketball game. Second half of action just underway, and Kate, the chaos has come for both sides here, and Coach Frederick says, let's spend a timeout just over 2 minutes in, try to settle the ship.
Chaos continues, that is for certain. Rebounding action right now, just about even. I've got 4 rebounds for the Panthers, 3 for the Lady Blue Devils. No points from the field for Leominster, and just the single basket by Bassett here in the second half to round things out scoring-wise.
Thank you, Kate. Appreciate that. And, of course, you can be a part of this one here on RFM, whether you're joining us on Facebook Live, YouTube, or Twitch. Wherever you find your favorite social media app, you find it. The broadcast finds you. All you got to do is like, follow, and subscribe today at your favorite social media site, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. And when we go live with content, that content prompts you on your favorite digital media device. And, of course, for schedule updates, follow us on Twitter at Media Rivalry, as well as for the amalgamation of the best stories from all around the reporting here in Central Massachusetts. And Bill Thomas, before I started, you had something you wanted to pick up on there.
I forgot what it was.
Pass. And there's a deflection back into the backcourt.
I know what it was.
Go ahead, Billy.
The only basket we've had was in the first 15 seconds of this third quarter. Nice set play out of the first inbounds, and nothing since then for Quabbin or for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, quiet
Had
all
to think
around.
there. Tell you, that's what happens when you get old.
Kelly with the push shot, back rim, no, and the rebound down for Georgie. And we're almost 3 minutes into this third quarter, and Leominster is still at their 15-point margin, and we are just 2 points ahead, as Bill Thomas just pointed out, of our halftime score, which was 15-13 Leominster. Kelly with the takeaway, skid to the floor, finds Caldwell in a double team, then Caldwell gets tied up and walked with the basketball. The ball will go back to Quabbin.
Good aggressive defense, though. Just walked right into that dribble and took it away, went down to the floor. Tried to get the fast break going there, but too many bodies in the way. Ended up tangled up.
Another statistic for Kate there, Bill Thomas, would be floor burns, and they are rampant as everybody has been hustling to the floor for loose balls. And, I mean, that's the sign of the dedication here in this early going. If you want the ball, you take it away like Kelly does. Dribble it away from Rose and laid it in good. And Leominster's on the board in the second half and reclaims their lead at 17-15.
Right out of the dribble, just stuck her hand in and made it her dribble.
And a timeout taken after a long inbound count after the made basket. Coach Evan Barringer says, you know what, let's stop this before we lose the possession, and let's talk things over.
And he had 4.5 in his head and took that quick timeout right there. Good job, settle things down.
Plenty of girls basketball action ahead here on RFM and with our partners at Leominster TV. And, of course, we mentioned this front-loaded girls basketball schedule here at home. First 8 games of the season are all here at the gym at Leominster High School. We'll have half of them for you right here on RFM. Got the opening night tonight. Back here with the girls on January the 6th. And then it's literally across a 7-day window, Bill Thomas. We see these ladies in action 3 consecutive games. January 6th versus Neshoba, January 10th versus Wachusett, January 13th versus Fitchburg in the front end of a doubleheader in a girls-boys doubleheader night between the Twin City rivals.
Yeah,
so a lot of excitement coming up.
Big week for the Lady Blue Devils and some tough competition right there.
And, of course, getting out to a good start here. When you know that the last 9 out of 10 games are on the road, these first 8 at home have got to be phenomenally well played, and you've got to compete for every single win on every night.
Yeah, and a lot of those games, those tough games at home that we're going to be covering, that's who they're going to be playing at the end of the season in enemy territory. So you got to make hay when you're at home if you want to be successful in the long run.
4:33 to play here in the third. Baseball pass. Georgie intercepted and coming back the other way with Pompey. Pompey into the front court now. Drops it off for Caldwell, who will resume the point guard duties. Now for Keenan. Keenan, bullet through the middle of the paint, knocked down by Ducos, and it is a held ball with an alternate possession favoring Quabbin.
Officials a little quick with the whistle there on that held ball. Looked like Blue Devils had, Lady Blue Devil had possessed it quite cleanly.
Well, with how physical this basketball game has been, Billy, they've got to jump all over it with the whistle or things could get out of hand quickly.
Well, long 5.
Bassett finds Rose.
There's no half-court timeline in the girls' game.
That is correct. That one is tapped into the backcourt, though, by Pompey with another back-to-back steal.
She's been all over the court tonight defensively.
Keenan, the drive, push shot missed. Rebound for Rose. Under 4 minutes to play here in the third. Jumper from the left corner. Doesn't go. Tapped on rebound by Georgie, but right into the breadbasket of Boulay. Up floor, it's Keenan for Kelly. Into the corner, Caldwell. Caldwell dribbles into the wing, then dribbles right back out past the arc. She's caught, gave up her dribble, and a foul will bail Caldwell out, and that was a gift of a whistle.
Yeah, you talk about getting bailed out right there. She almost got the 5-second tie-up right there, and but fortunate there, Blue Devils able to maintain possession, get a new 35 out of this.
And the sophomore Rosado handles the inbound through Kelly. Now for Keenan, cross court, right back, finds Kelly in the right wing. Step up, jumper, back rim, no. Rebound down for Doyle. Doyle gets a little screen to spring herself from Rose. And now they work in the front court. Touch, tapped through the hands. Pompey had the last contact. And they will win the whistle, Will Quabbin, at the 3:14 mark here of the third quarter, chasing two at 17-15.
Kelly has that look of determination on her face. She's going to get that ball. She's going to harass you.
It is her ball, Bill Thomas, and everybody else is just borrowing it.
And
here we go. She had it back. Stolen away and going the other way. It's Whitelaw. Whitelaw to the rim. Lay-in will not go. Battle for the rebound. It's Kelly who comes out with it
again. She has a nose for the ball for sure, Todd.
And then Boulay in transition takes the reach-in contact from Rose, and it'll be Leominster possession. Foul line extended left.
I mean, she is all business out there. She just has that look. She's going after the ball. You better be ready for it.
This is Boulay. Gave up the dribble a long way away. Finds an entry pass for Pompey. Marwa, the flasher, makes the catch in stride and the lay-in good. And Leominster's lead is 4.
And you know how I love when they work that baseline, Todd, especially off that weak side. A lot of open shots to be found down there.
At the 2:33 mark here of the third, another giveaway to the floor. Loose ball, tie up, Leominster basketball.
Good hands by Pompey that time, jumping in on that loose ball.
And now some changes by Coach Barringer. Try to bring some ball handling back in here. Doyle will head out. Ducos returns. She'll work the front court with Rose. Cross court. This one tapped out of the hands of Boulay. Out of play as Marwa lets it go around the end line. 2:17 to play here in the third. Leominster basketball with, it said 34 to shoot, but there has now been an adjustment in shot clock showing 25 seconds to shoot. Now the inbound. Rosado for Marwa. Through the weeds, into the paint. Shot, got the front rim, no, but Kelly the rebound. Now around through Pompey with a touch from Rosado to Boulay. Right back to Rosado. Sets a screen for Boulay. Boulay back for Pompey. Pompey thought about it. Gave it back to Boulay. The drive denied by Georgie. Pompey got the loose ball, slung it at the rim. The shot clock goes off, but it's a live ball. She caught the rim. Marwa scrambled back, missed the open lay-in, and the rebound down floor for Whitelaw.
A lot of action right there, but no points for the Blue Devils.
Nice job by the team to listen to their coach. Coach Frederick knew the ball was still live as the ball hit the rim. Moving to the right, jumper for Rose in motion is short and out of play, and she's frustrated with herself.
And the Panthers have to be frustrated with their offensive performance this quarter. 2 points in the first 15 seconds, and that is all the next 6.5 minutes almost.
1:25 and counting to play here in the third quarter, a 19-15 Leominster advantage. Rosado bounces it in, finds Bello. Bello works it back out for Rosado. Cross court, finds Boulay. Open three, back rim, no. Rebound brought down. First touch for Hannah Baxter, the junior, into the basketball game. Makes an immediate difference with the rebound for the Panthers. And then an immediate giveaway. Ducos through the hands of Whitelaw and out of play.
Yeah, unforced error right there. Just looking to make a catch and shot, I think. Checking the defense before she had the ball in her hands.
Clock stopped at 1 minute flat as we go under a minute on the inbound. Rosado gets the pass from Caldwell. Three, side rim, no. Rebound, Baxter. back-to-back possessions. Let's see if the Panthers can get themselves a basket here in the closing moments here of the third quarter. The drive, bounce, picked by Forsberg. Ducos thought Doyle was going to keep going along the end line. She stopped her action and got tied up. Rosado, though, the bounce into the lane, giveaway for Baxter, who's got 2 rebounds and a steal since coming into the game at the last whistle. Ducos dragged that pivot foot just barely. Up floor, it's Whitelaw. Back for Ducos. Shot clock off, final 15 seconds of the third. This is Ducos to the left wing. Reverse back, looking for Baxter. Bello tried to overplay, couldn't get it. Whitelaw into the open floor. 3 is well short of the mark. Bello, the rebound on the baseline, keeps it alive. 2 seconds go, 1, and she'll throw it up at the buzzer, and it is no good. 3 quarters in the books from the gym at Leominster High School in a low-scoring basketball game. It's Leominster 19 and Quabbin 15 through 3.
Low scoring is an understatement, Todd. 6-2 quarter right there.
The all-important fourth and final quarter is on deck, but Kate Robbins is standing by back at headquarters. Kate, stats through 3 quarters.
Stats through 3 quarters are becoming more and more anemic. Bill Thomas has already said it. Quabbin with just 2 points in that third quarter, and they came from Bassett, who has a team-high 5 points. On Leominster's side of the ball, they had 2 shots go in from the field, a 2-point shot from Marwa and a field goal from Kelly as well. Right now for Leominster, Kelly is the team high with 6 points for the Blue Devils.
Thank you, Kate. And what we can report is, of course, that it has been a very clean third quarter as fouls. Everybody's got plenty to give. And, Kate, if I'm not mistaken, Boulet's 2 is about the only thing that's worth noting on that foul line.
Yeah, Boulet has 2. Pompey has 2 as well for the Blue Devils. Doyle and Rose each have a pair for the Panthers as well.
As we get ready to start the fourth quarter, just about everybody's eligible, but Bill Thomas, Pompey in particular, been key for Leominster.
Yeah, and I'm focusing on Kelly. She was a one-woman wrecking crew there in that third quarter.
She's going to get the basketball.
I tell you, I mentioned her name, and she must have touched the ball 5 times in 30 seconds. I was like, wow. But, yeah, she was really a driving force in that third quarter. All over the court.
We begin the fourth quarter. Drive to the lane, it's Bassett. Got denied. Marwa up floor finds Caldwell, and she waits for the rest of the team to join her. Caldwell will step back into a double team. Bello for Forsberg, flashing, and she walked with it before the contact. Turnover, and the ball will go back to Quabbin.
Good defense right there, trying to see who stood her up. I think that might have been Rose that cut her path off and took that extra step trying to turn and make a pass.
Coming up post-game, Leominster head coach Rusty Frederick joins us here at our courtside broadcast position. We get to hear his thoughts on tonight's action. Drive into the lane, and the takeaway, Bello from Bassett, and the immediate giveaway. Right back the other way with 30 to shoot. This is Rose, finds Whitelaw, back for Rose. Foul line, Bassett, denied on the entry pass. Looking for Georgie. Forsberg with the steal. A minute gone by here in the fourth quarter. Leominster up 4, and the ball will be deflected out of play. It will stay with the blue and white.
Big block right there.
This is Rosado. Open look at 3, thought about it, took it, got the back rim, and the rebound is Georgie. Bounced it out for Rose.
Good job getting out of trouble right there.
And Rose off the outlet will bring it from left to right. Got a screen, open to the left elbow. Side rim, no. Bassett tapped the rebound, and Marwa ran it down into the sideline.
Nice hustle over there right in front of the Quabbin bench.
Forsberg kicks back for Bello. Bello with the dribble a long way from the rim. Sends it to Caldwell. Short, Rosado tried the cleanup, couldn't finish the lay-in. Out of play, last touch by Rose, and Leominster will have the basketball with 30 to shoot.
Nice job by Rosado. She saw that ball was not going to hit the rim, picked the spot, just could not get it back up in.
They reset the shot clock. 35 seconds on the reset. 6:24 to play in the fourth. Forsberg makes the catch on the inbound, launches the 3 after thinking about it, and Doyle got the rebound. There have been some open looks, Bill Thomas.
Clean look, absolutely. Unable to get it to fall.
They're saying if you can hit it, you got it. Doyle driving to the wing, takes the jumper, drew the contact, and Doyle's going to the line to shoot two.
Good looking play right there. Got around a defender, got up about nice little jump shot, fouled on the way up.
6:06 to play in the final frame of regulation. 19-15 is Leominster's advantage.
Quabbin's gone over 8 minutes without scoring a point here. See if we can't get over that.
And Doyle not able to hit the first one.
Over 9 minutes, going on 10 minutes, Todd, since Quabbin has scored a point.
We pack up this road show, and on the road we go. Boys basketball action takes center stage on the holiday week next week, Thursday, December the 22nd. Pregame 6:45, tip-off at 7 as Burlington hosts Leominster on the same platforms of RFM. And there is a make for Quabbin, and they are on the board after, what was it, Bill Thomas? About 8 minutes?
Over 9 minutes without scoring a point, Todd, between the third and fourth quarters.
19-16 our score.
Swatted
Swatted down Doyle. Doyle to Rose. And I think the bigger news about that, Bill Thomas, is that Leominster managed to hold Quabbin scoreless in that window of time, but could not build their lead. They're in a three-point basketball game.
A lot of back and forth. Quabbin hasn't stopped playing defense. Let's see what we got.
And the officials will converse, and they are going to grant a timeout for Quabbin.
Not sure what they're talking about, but
it is a timeout granted. 5:43 to play here in the fourth quarter. 19-16. Leominster's advantage is 3, and Bill Thomas, you were just picking up on that point, and that is, it's one thing to hold your opponent off the board as Leominster did, but if you can't add to it, you find yourself in a really tight basketball game when defensively you played well.
Yeah, and you're right. You know, you think that, if the other team's having trouble scoring, at least you can build on your lead a little bit, but Quabbin has not given up on defense. They might be struggling down on the offensive end, but they're playing hands up, blocking them past the lanes defense, and it's keeping them in this game right now, Todd and Kate.
Kate, Leominster is looking to build offensively here. That would be the kind of the growing point. Defense has got to be converted into offense.
You're absolutely right about that. It also helps that Quabbin essentially went on that 9-minute run that was a complete drought. That's what's keeping Leominster in this game. It's not that their defense has been prolific. It's not that their offense has been stellar. It's that right now Quabbin is helping them out every way that they can offensively.
Fair enough. 5:43 to play here in the fourth quarter. 19-16. Leominster's advantage is 3. A half-court inbound coming up for Meg Doyle right here in front of our courtside broadcast position. Guarded by Kelly. She'll put the inbound to Ducos, who will direct traffic and bring the ball over the timeline. Ducos bounces to the low right block. Bassett denied by Bello and out of play.
Nice hands-up defense right there. Bassett with nowhere to go. She just jumped right up into Bello's arms.
There's a newfound confidence in Bello, Bill Thomas,
Absolutely.
that you can see.
You can tell. She's not lost, and she was lost a lot under the basket last year.
And when you're a freshman coming into varsity action, even if you play elite AAU basketball, there is a learning curve when you start playing the best teams from around the region. The drive, side rim Rose, not able to get that one to go, and the rebound and run out for Pompey. Pompey up 4 for Kelly. Kelly to foul line, Bello. Bello the jumper, no roll, got the back rim and the rebound for Rose. Had to grab the handle and she will control it. Goes long court, finds Doyle, and closing in on it is Kelly.
I tell you, she cut her off quick.
Marwa cuts into the passing lane, bothers Rose, who missed her target, bouncing and out of play.
Quabbin working on that bounce pass a lot tonight, and it's good to see. Tell you, when a good bounce pass is nothing prettier in basketball, but it's a fine art, but it's good to see Quabbin working on that skill.
Especially when you're able to handle around knee high and just take it in stride.
That's how you get around those hands and those arms in the passing lanes.
4:45 and counting here in the fourth. Leominster with the basketball and a 4-point lead. Caldwell 3 from the right corner will not go, and the rebound down for Giorgi. Rose trying to dribble around.
Whoa.
Bodies hit the floor. The whistle. The officials with the timeout Because of the head contact on the floor for Rose, I'll be interested to see how they officiate the play. Because there was a loose ball when the whistle went off.
So I think she was out of bounds and she touched the ball, Todd, too, while she was laying on the baseline.
Among other things.
That was the call right there.
How she ended up on the floor would be the question that I would ask if I was Coach Evan Beringer. Passing the 4.5-minute mark here in the fourth. Kelly for Caldwell into the post for Bello. Bello out of trouble. Finds Kelly. 25 to shoot. Bounce pass looking for Lemanski. Tied up by Doyle, who gets into the lane. Alternate possession will favor Leominster.
Hey, girls are leaving it all on the floor tonight. That is for sure.
Opening night for both teams, Bill Thomas.
Sure.
They have tried to hit this one in stride. Doyle thought she had the basketball.
Somebody's got it inbound. Is that alternating? Oh, it's Blue Devils on the alternating possession. I lost track.
Yeah, no, and the arrow favored. I thought they would go to the arrow on the loose ball whistle, but they did not. They gave it to Leominster outright. So the out-of-bounds call you referenced was certainly it, as Caldwell falls out of play, and the ball will go to Quabbin at the 4:09 mark here of the fourth, and they're still chasing three. That's the good news. If you're Coach Beringer's squad, you come down the floor and tie the basketball game.
He's got to feel pretty fortunate here, and close to 12 minutes, they've only scored 1 point, and they're only a basket out of this tie game.
Rose, scoop shot, draws the contact from two Blue Devils, and Rose is going to go to the line to shoot two.
Quabbin finding a way to stick around here. Blue Devils unable to pull away.
Bello gets charged with the foul, her first. 3:53 to play here in the fourth quarter. And at the line, the shot away and will not go for Rose.
I don't think the Blue Devils have scored in this fourth quarter. Have they, Todd? Didn't they start the fourth quarter at 19?
I believe you are correct.
I think they did.
Kate, chime in on that one. What was our end of third quarter score?
No points for the Blue Devils in the fourth.
No points. I thought so. Okay, thank you.
Back down floor after an 0 for 2 trip there for Rose. It's Kelly for Bello, playing a long way from the basket. Finds Pompey, right side three. She buries it.
All we got to do is talk about what's not happening, and it will.
3:33 and counting here in the fourth, and it's 22-16 Leominster.
Huge basket, might be the biggest up to this point in the game right now.
Pompey gets rubbed off the hip of Bassett. And then an inside out, Georgie sets up a Rose three, missed. Ball deflected, out of play, last touched by Leominster. It's Quabbin basketball, and Rose took exception to being cleared out on that follow-up shot. And now a timeout taken by Coach Beringer at the 3:14 mark here of the fourth quarter, and a 22-16 Leominster advantage.
Quabbin's still struggling from the field. Just one point here in the second half, I believe, Todd, and that's not going to get it done.
Great crowd on hand inside the gym at Leominster High School. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins back at HQ tonight, and great to have you along with us here on the platforms of RFM. That's YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch tonight, and also our partners at Leominster TV joining us in delay as well. Great to be with you. This is our second of 14 games we will have with you over the coming months, and that is in the regular season with the postseason tournaments to follow after. All across the region, we're looking forward to some great basketball action here this winter. And Bill Thomas, we've seen two opening night games, one for the boys the other night that was high scoring and intense right out of the gate. This has been a little bit more plotting, a little more meddling at points, but what it's led to is down the stretch, both teams jockeying, trying to get their neck across the finish line first.
Yeah, if you remember the other night, Todd, both teams struggled from the field too. We had a low scoring first half. I think it was in the teens. We had a steady progression of 10-point quarters the other night. Kind of unusual for boys varsity basketball, but the intensity wasn't any less than it is here tonight, and these girls are playing just as hard in their opening night.
Coming out of the timeout, it will be a Quabbin inbound under their own offensive basket. Kind of a loose stack and off the break. The inbound. Ducos finds Doyle. Doyle with it. 12 to shoot, takes the three, little off balance, long rebound, and finds its way into the hands of Caldwell, who immediately turns up floor, finds Kelly, out of real estate and out of play. Ball back to Quabbin.
Good idea, though, driving that baseline. She ran out of real estate.
And Georgie's going to handle the inbound as Leominster will go full court press here. 2:55 and counting to play in the fourth.
I think they've seen how Quabbin's had trouble getting the ball in.
And it's a walk for Doyle, who had press coverage there at best, as Kelly stayed off for almost a full body.
I think she expected a little more being bodied up by Kelly, took that extra step of momentum.
And the walk, and Leominster gets it back on their offensive end. 2:50 to play in the fourth.
That's a free possession right there, Todd.
And a chance to take more time off the clock. Into the post, it's Bello. Steps to the rim, shot, up and goes.
And that's the way you make that mistake pay, right there immediately.
Leominster's lead is 24-16 at the 2.5-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Georgie goes back for Rose. Rose with the right-hand dribble, screen from Doyle. Driving on Kelly. Rose falling out of play. Looking for the block call, and it didn't come. And the ball will go out of bounds and will go back for Leominster. And the officials have let that baseline contact play all night long. You can have control of your body if you're going to have a foul call going in that baseline.
Yeah, I agree. She was looking for Giorgio there, but unable to connect.
Lemansky with a quick touch, that out to Pompey. Bello, foul line, jumper, down it goes.
Blue Devils finding their way to the basket now, playing with confidence.
From a 3-point lead to a 10-point lead. At the 2:05 mark of the fourth, it's 26-16.
A little bit of success, the rest of the team picks right up on it.
And Lemansky with the steal, but a quick takeaway for Dukos. Dukos with a sense of urgency at the 1:52 mark, and Kelly with the steal. And now Kelly gets ahead of the break, gets taken out. She's frustrated. She wanted all ball on the call, but it was the lower body contact, not the upper body contact, that gets whistled, and it's going to send Kelly to the line to shoot two.
Doyle frustrated, thought she had a clean block there, and goes over the bench and looks for a towel and a quick drink of water during these two foul shots.
Takes a long walk to the opposite end of the floor to collect herself. Kelly at the line. First one hard in and out. 1:48 to play in the fourth. 26-16.
Kelly's just been all over the court in the second half, really making her presence felt on both ends.
And this Doyle-Kelly matchup has been a lot of fun, Bill Thomas, because they are kind of two players that are cut from the same cloth.
Very intense.
They both are very intense.
Yes.
Kelly's second one will go and increase the Leominster lead to 11.
My thoughts exactly, Todd. And you can just see it on their face. They just have this different look. This, it's a game, but I'm not playing a game look.
Dukos got tied up and then responded after giving the ball away by yanking Pompey's arm. And that is going to be a call for a hold, and that's a polite way of looking at it. Frustration is the right
frustration foul right there.
Call there, and timeout spent.
A lot of frustration over on the Quabbin bench right now because they played tough defense, but the game's got away from here in the last 2 or 3 minutes in the fourth quarter.
97 seconds left in regulation. 27-16 Leominster's lead. Coming up post-game, Kate Robbins will have that complete statistical wrap-up of this one, and Coach Rusty Frederick will join us here at our courtside broadcast position to talk this one over and look ahead at the season in front of his girls basketball program. All that coming up as we continue here on RFM. Great to have you along with us. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins back at headquarters tonight. For those of you joining us in delay, Bradley Bedard with us for Leominster TV, bringing you the great views from high above the gym here at Leominster High School tonight. Opening girls basketball game of the season. Second basketball game on the Leominster schedule on either side. And then both teams battle Algonquin in the week ahead.
I tell you, we've had two fantastic opening season games for both sides, boys and girls. And I hope this foretells what kind of season we're going to have. Plenty of excitement, and I'm looking forward to the slate of games we have coming up.
Pompey will have the inbound. Long floor, full pressure coming from Quabbin. The bounce in, Caldwell. Dukos goes up floor, does Caldwell find Kelly? Tipped away in the backcourt. Dukos pressures, it's off Kelly, and there is no call. Officials are going to go to the arrow. The alternate possession favors Quabbin, and that is a correct call thanks to the arrow. It was contact. It was a tip off of Kelly, out of play. It should be Quabbin basketball. The unfortunate part here is they're giving up the arrow in order to get the ball.
Right. It actually works to the Blue Devils' advantage here, and should there be another tie-up.
Tough break there for the Panthers. Turnaround shot. Bassett fouled in the post by Bello, and Bassett's got 2 shots coming from the line.
See if they can't close the gap here a little bit.
1:22 to play in the fourth quarter. It's 27-16. Leominster's advantage here. And we've got a communicable disease rule timeout on the floor as Pompey's got a little blood going down the left leg. She will be given such time that it takes to get her back into playing condition.
Well, road rash over there. It's not surprising that.
I told you.
I'm surprised there isn't more of this. None of the girls are wearing knee pads to speak of, and not at all surprised there's been a little blood spilled. Looking for.
Players have to stay close to their benches here, and now Coach Frederick is going to spend a timeout here. He was going to be given the time to, of course, have the quote-unquote repair work done on Pompey, whatever is considered reasonable.
They got her patched up.
In the meantime, he says, hey, let's talk this one over.
Plug the leak, put a patch on it.
1:22 to play here in the fourth quarter. Ground to a halt. Kate, what are you seeing in the numbers?
Well, you came to me quick on that one. All right, we have Kelly with a team-high 7 points for the Blue Devils. Only 2 Blue Devils with made baskets from the field in the fourth quarter. That was Pompey and Bello. Bello with 4 fourth quarter points for the Blue Devils. Right now, turnovers have calmed down on the Blue Devils side of the ball. They have 9 turnovers in this half, 15 turnovers in the second half for Quabbin, however. No baskets made from the field for Quabbin in the fourth quarter. They have a lone free throw.
Actually, in the second half, Kate, I think a lone free throw.
They have they had 1 basket from the field by Bassett in the third.
Okay.
1:22 to play here in the fourth quarter. Kate, while we got you, do we have a teething update? Mr. P was going to make his first broadcast appearance tonight, and then he had a sudden, attack of teething at the 4-month stage.
He's doing okay. Demeanor is better. He's working out in the gym right now with Mr. Crab and Mr. Fish. And they're having a grand old time. He took a bottle finally. So much better. He's watching you. He keeps checking out. He hears Daddy's voice.
Oh, the teething hunger strike has ended, and we'll continue. Thank you, Kate. And we continue on. As I know, lots of parents out there who have way more experience than Kate and I know. This transition into teething is apparently quite the adventure.
It's been a while, Todd. I don't remember how that was 40 years ago. But it's only the beginning.
Oh, I was going to say, the beginning of the beginning.
Exactly right.
0 of 2 on the trip. Back down floor comes Leominster with the basketball, and a minute to play here in the fourth quarter.
Blue Devils in no hurry here. I think just using as much clock as they can.
8 to shoot. This is Kelly. Corner for Pompey. Takes the 3, buries it, and that's a dagger.
And that's a capper right there. A little frosting on the cake.
Down floor, it's Giorgi. It's a 10-second differential, shot clock to game clock. Doyle into the lane, and she walked with it. Ball will go back to Leominster.
Ran into some trees right there with nowhere to go except taking a shuffle step. Quabbin backing off the last 30 seconds here.
Coach Evan Beringer calls off his team into the half court, and he's just going to get Leominster to dribble this one out. Shot clock is off. Final 23 seconds left in this one. Lemansky for Caldwell. Coach Frederick says stay off. Stays at the half-court circle. Just token pressure. Coach Beringer and team trying to applaud. They'll give that token pressure. Final 4 seconds here. Opportunity here to close this game out. Leominster will dribble out a win tonight. It's an opening night victory for Leominster, as Leominster wins by a 30-16 margin.
Well deserved too, Todd. They played hard, had a little trouble in the first half, but did a good job, clamped down defensively, even though Quabbin had trouble scoring in the second half, let's give the Lady Blue Devils defense some credit there, and came away with a hard-fought victory.
Indeed they did. They persevered, and in the end, down the stretch in that fourth quarter, they shot their way into the lead, which, of course, is what you got to do. When you're making that kind of defensive opportunity, you've got to shoot your way when the advantage presents itself.
And what they found was, if Quabbin's not going to score, it's going to take more than defense to win the game, though. And you're right, Todd. They found a couple of ways to get some baskets. I'm telling you, Kelly really sparked them there in that second half. And, Kate mentioned she had 7. I don't even remember seeing her score, but I saw her do everything else in the game. But she also found a way to find 7 points. And I tell you, talk about an all-around performance. That's really where it was.
Final score here inside the gym at Leominster High School. It's Leominster 30 and Quabbin 16. Blue Devils will improve to 1-0. Quabbin to 0-1 through one game here on the early season. Coach Rusty Frederick joins us here in our courtside broadcast position. Coming up in a matter of moments, we'll also have Kate's complete stat recap of this one. A 30-16 Leominster win over Quabbin on opening night for the girls here at the gym at Leominster High School. Stay with us for those of you joining us here live tonight for Coach Frederick. For those of you joining us on Leominster TV, we thank you so very much for joining us here tonight in delay. 30-16 the final score. Leominster tops Quabbin. For Leominster TV's Bradley Bedard, Bill Thomas, and Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins, saying so long to those of you joining us in delayed replay on Leominster TV. Join us again in the coming weeks for more basketball action here on Leominster TV. For those of you joining us here live tonight on RFM, Coach Rusty Frederick joins us in a matter of moments. 30-16, Leominster tops Quabbin. This is high school basketball right here on RFM. Back inside the gym at Leominster High School. Leominster a winner tonight, 30-16. Start off the girls basketball season with a win over Quabbin. Kate Robbins is standing by back at RFM HQ. Todd Robbins here. Bill Thomas along as well as we await Leominster head coach Rusty Frederick, who will join us here in our courtside broadcast position. Kate, while we wait for Coach Frederick to join us, thought it was a good time to bring you in for our final stat look of the night. And I think for Leominster, they're going to like how the game closed. Much like it began, they're just going to want to throw out the middle two-thirds, or the middle third, if you will, that they probably didn't enjoy all that much when they were stale. And then, of course, defensively, you play a phenomenal third quarter, and then you can't expand on that. You find yourself in a shooting match, but then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, Leominster figures out a way to pull away and take advantage of the fact that defensively they were keeping Quabbin off the board.
No, you're absolutely right about that. Patrick and I have your stat recap because the grandparents have gone back home. So he's ready to go and give you the stat recap. He's in charge of the clipboard right now. So here we go.
Somebody has to be.
That's right. Okay. So first, we're going to do team totals for the Panthers of Quabbin. 17 rebounds, 2 steals, 35 turnovers on the night for Quabbin. That's a number that kind of says it all. 2 of 10 from the line. That's shooting 20% from the free throw line for Quabbin. Individual notable statistics. Smith ends her night with 4 points. Doyle ends her night with 1 point. She was 1 of 5 from the line. Oh, pardon me. That's not correct. 4 points for Doyle. She was 1 of 5 from the line. Rose ends her night with 3 points. Bassett ends her night with a team high 5 points for Quabbin. On the Blue Devils side of the ball, team totals first 27 rebounds, 9 steals, 30 turnovers for the Blue Devils. 21 of those come in the first half alone. They were 3 of 6 from the line, shooting 50% from the charity stripe. Individual scoring contributions came from 7 different Lady Blue Devils. Bello ends her night with 6. Caldwell ends her night with 1. Rosado ends her night with 3. Boulay with 2. Marwal with 2. Kelly with 7. And Pompey ends her night with a team high 9 points, courtesy of those 3-pointers that were coming fast and furious in the second half. Todd?
All right, Kate, thank you so much. Back with you in a moment for a final word at RFM HQ. And join now at our courtside broadcast position, Leominster High School head coach Rusty Frederick joins us. And Coach, a win tonight, 30-16, the final score in that one. That's what you wanted in the end. You took a bit of a circuitous route to get there. Beginning of the game was great. You dominated play, at least possession-wise, in the first quarter, and then offensively it just wasn't there, and that kind of was the story throughout this one. Your offense trailed your defense that played phenomenal.
Yeah, defense is first, so that's what we preach in practice. If we play defense like that, we'll be in every game. It's about finishing, and we finished today. I mean, it was a rock fight for a little while, So the girls stepped up. Everyone that played got in there and played great defense, and I mean, it was a great defensive game. I mean, I think they scored 3 in the second half, and they had the first basket of the second half, I believe, and I mean, that's awesome.
It was the lone basket to speak of through much of the third quarter and on into the fourth. And I think a player that really kind of points to what you're talking about, that defense-first mentality, is absolutely got to be the play of Nicole Kelly, who tonight seemingly was wherever the ball was.
Right.
That's where she was out on the floor.
She's relentless. She's fast, good. She knows how to anticipate. She's all over the place. That's a style that we're going to play this year. We're going to be up, we're trying to, similar to the boys, full court pressure, see if we can just work the ball and then turn them into mistakes. And if we can turn girls and then send 2 people at them and get the game going that way. But offensively, we just got to settle down. And we were a little hectic. First game, you could see a lot of people not catching balls, a lot of jump balls. We got to be better at that. We don't want jumps on the offensive side. We want to go, and we got to make them pay, too, when they turn the ball over. That, our heads got to be up. We got to find the outlets and then go. It's a work in progress, but I'm very happy with this team, and I believe we're going to be a team that's going to make a run.
The matchup with Kelly was interesting tonight because you talk about the type of player she is. I don't know that she often gets matched up against a player that was very similar stylistically, whoa, let me get that out, to her, and that is, of course, Meg Doyle, who on Quabbin's side, very similar. Ball hawking, wherever the ball was, she wanted to be there, was physical, and Bill Thomas used the word intense. They were both intense, and it was this battle of intensity wherever they went out on the floor.
Right. It's just, I mean, that's what Quabbin brings to the table. You know, they come walking in, you go, they're huge. They're going to try to, but they stayed that, you know, they had their guards in there a lot, and, you know, it was just, she was good. It's all over the place, and that's what he preaches over there, too. So, and he's happy to come here and play us, you know. It helps him. That's what he keeps telling me.
To be honest, we were talking about, honestly, how it helps both of you in the grand scheme of things because they'll do well. And in this statewide, there's no longer about playing up or playing down. That's not really what advantages you. Playing good teams advantages you. And so for the rest of the way, be it that you don't see Quabbin again, you hope they win out. It is only to your benefit mathematically.
Yeah, likewise. He already said win some games. So, yeah, we're definitely rooting each way, and they're going to be in games with their defense. And so I'm looking at Maddie right now, and she got in late in the game. And for a freshman, that's, man, ice. She's going to be a good player for us. And I thought Jules stepped up at the end there, hitting some threes. And then we showed some patience a little bit, working the ball. And that we're going to hit some shots too. I mean, we've been working at the shooting, and we're better shooters than what we showed tonight. But first game out of the way, bring on Algonquin, right?
I was going to say, let's take a look. The folks will forgive me for disappearing from the picture for a moment here, or maybe they'll be thrilled. They'll take a look at your schedule, Coach, coming up here, and I mean that's the road ahead for you all. There is, I mean, it's home game city. You could set up camp here inside the gym at Leominster High School. You don't have to get on a bus or go anywhere until January 19th, of course. But then from January 19th to the end of the year, you get your flyer miles there on the busing from there on out.
We'll be getting them, but one game at a time. I believe our next game's home.
Good guess. As are the next 7 after that.
So we got to do some damage here and get ahead of get ahead of it, and we got to find ways to win games. And we know they can compete. We did that last year. Now it's about competing, finishing, and winning. We, as a team, everyone was cheering for each other. That's what it's got to be.
And that is the way you want things to go, Coach, as you look ahead here to the game against Algonquin for you all coming up. That is a program year in and year out that on the girls' side of things, and the boys' side of things for that matter, it's a basketball school. They do phenomenally well in the sport. What are the things you're going to be looking to build on going into next week?
Yeah, pretty much the same here. They lost some seniors, so we know we know who they lost, and then I know Jerpy's going to be their go-to player. So we got to match up with her and just play good defense, be solid, make good passes. I don't know what our turnovers were, but they were pretty high.
I can call back to headquarters. Kate, what was the turnover number for Leominster tonight?
That would be 30.
30. Did you say under 30? No, we really got to get that down to at least 15. We got to cut that in half. We got to be solid with the ball. And thanks, Coach. And, we got to take care of that. That's very precious, and we want to turn them over, but we don't want to turn over. So I think our defense kind of ran into our offense, kind of like hectic down here on the defensive end, and then it was still hectic in the first half down there. But I knew it was going to be a little bit. I was just hoping we could find a way to win this game, and then now the confidence starts to build, taking care of the ball. They've seen it. And here we go. And
away you go indeed, Coach. And the closing minutes said it all. Although you played yourself into a tight situation, you got the shots you needed down the stretch to pull away. It was the thing you had been waiting for probably throughout the basketball game. And you got it. 30-16 a win tonight. You're 1-0. And off you go into Algonquin next week.
Awesome. And Frankie hit some big shots down there too, huh? Down the stretch.
We were talking a little bit about just how much more confident she looks in post play this year.
Yeah, we just you got to be aggressive. You got to be calm and go. This is a good game for her, too. She's only a sophomore, and it's great. They played a lot already, a lot of these girls.
A lot of smiles when you're 1-0 through one in this early season. Coach, we'll see you in the coming weeks here at home, as the case may be.
Join us. Great crowd tonight. We need them.
That's right. Great crowd. We look forward to seeing them all year long. And when you can't, they join us right here as well. Kate, I'm going to turn this back over to you while we say goodbye to Coach Frederick, give you a chance to wrap up those final stats.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. So once again, as we recap on the evening, Quabbin team totals, 17 rebounds, 2 steals, 35 turnovers on the night for the Panthers, 20% from the line. They were 2 of 10. Of course, deficit was 14 to end the night. Individual statistics, Smith ends her night with 4, Doyle with 4 as well. She was 1 of 5 from the line. Rose ends her night with 3. She was 0 of 2 from the line. Bassett ends her night with 5. She was 1 of 3 from the line as well. For the Lady Blue Devils, team totals, 27 rebounds, 9 steals, 30 turnovers for Leominster. They were 3 of 6 from the line, which means they shot 50%. Taking a look at the individual notable statistics, Lady Blue Devils had scoring contributions from 7 different young ladies. Bello ends her night with 6. Caldwell ends her night with 1 point. She was 1 of 2 from the line. Rosado ends her night with 3. Boulay with 2. Marwell with 2 as well. Kelly was 1 of 2 from the line, ends her night with 7. And Pompey ends her night 1 of 2 from the line with a team high 9 points to end this home opener, one of many, as it were, for their home opener on the season here in 2022-2023. For Leominster High School.
And Kate, we talked a little bit about this when we were previewing this action last week at the conclusion of the boys broadcast, and that really is, this I think goes and kind of benefits the girls team the way their schedule stacks. They will have a chance to go on the road here, and if you go on the road after the first 8 games here at home, something like 6-2, you're in really great shape going down and then having to play that monster schedule on the road from January through mid-February.
Yeah, I mean, if you can establish your chemistry early on, and with this girls team, because they have so many new pieces that they are bringing into the mix, and so many new people that are making contributions here in the early going, and especially considering the extensive injury to Isabella Nevard, things have changed since just Sunday for this team. So it's very important for them to establish their identity as a unit first and foremost. And this home game stretch is going to be able to do that for them. They're going to be able to establish themselves and understand, okay, what is it that we are all about? What is our identity as a team? And then, as you said, once they establish their footing, once they get a little bit of confidence, once they really get settled in here in Central Mass, and even with their Eastern Mass rivals, like Sharon, coming into the building, then at that point they can go on the road with some confidence and hopefully continue in their winning ways. Of course, all of this is hypothetical. They've done the job tonight, 1-0.
1-0. That's that is the end goal. Kate and Patrick, thank you so much. Back at headquarters tonight, and we'll see you shortly for a book, bottle, and bed coming up here.
Sounds good. We're excited.
In a matter of moments. Thank you so much as well at home base tonight, and thank you for being a part of this one. Lots more broadcasts ahead here on RFM. Next one with you coming up next Thursday. That's December the 22nd, and we take the show on the road. We're going to do more road games in the month of December than this girls basketball program will, as we go on the road with the boys basketball program as they travel to Burlington in a rematch of what was a thrilling game here at the gym at Leominster High School this past January and part of last season. So we're looking forward to that action coming up on Thursday, December the 22nd. It is a 7 o'clock tip-off in the Fieldhouse at Burlington High School. Big gym, hostile environment. Going to be an exciting one. We're looking forward to be there for a battle of the Devils. The Red Devils of Burlington and the Blue Devils of Leominster. They square off with a 7 o'clock tip-off on December the 22nd, and it's exclusively right here on RFM on the road on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. Join us for that one. And kind of keeping up with that same theme, you want to be a part of this one, game available live on the platforms of RFM. That's YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. Like, follow, and subscribe today when we go live with content. You've got the live content at your smart-enabled device. Smash that like button. Updates available at Media Rivalry. Get the best of the stories all around the region as we amalgamate all those great stories and reporting from all sorts of sources all across the region. We will have that for you as well as our upcoming program. And on Twitter, follow us at Media Rivalry. Great to have you with us on another great night of basketball action, and we've got more fun to come in the weeks ahead. Leominster's girls are a winner tonight by a 30-16 margin over Quabbin. We thank you so very much for being a part of our family over the last couple of hours and look forward to being with you in the weeks ahead. For Bradley Bedard of Leominster TV, Kate Robbins and Patrick back at RFM HQ, and Bill Thomas here courtside at the gym at Leominster High School. I am Todd Robbins saying thank you so very much for joining us. 30-16, Leominster tops Quabbin and improves to 1-0 on the opening night of the girls' basketball season. More games ahead and more fun to come. And until next Thursday, we say so long, everybody.